Well, hello. Welcome to Blind Intelligence, where rules, rights, and responsibilities put you back in control. I am your host, Foresight. This is not legal advice. This is not financial advice. If you like legal advice, financial advice, I suggest you find yourself a competent professional. And please, by all means, be advised. What I'm about to say here is strictly for information and education purposes only. And the views and opinions of Foresight, me, the host, does not reflect any platform that hosts Blind Intelligence. My question today is we're going to do something different because I really would like for you to understand where I'm coming from. But my question to you today is that do you care about being in debt? Right? Do you care? Do you care about being in debt? Because being in debt says a whole lot about you. Now, let me say this. This is not to disrespect anyone. I'm not trying to disparage anyone. I'm just trying to get you to understand. When you go into a bank or finance, or you're trying to finance a car, or you're trying to do something dealing with credit, or you're trying to establish some type of credit card, on your consumer report is telling them who you are. They ain't gotta say nothing to you. They're gonna sit down, they're gonna look at that consumer report, and they're gonna look at you. And that's gonna tell them everything about you. It's an assumption and a presumption. Understand that. That's all it is. Now, personality, you may be the best person in the world, but you have bad financial decisions, according to that document, that consumer report. And this is what they're looking at. This is business. This is not pleasure. They don't know you personally. They're not judging you personally. They're just judging you professionally. Because they're looking at that consumer report. You got charge-offs. You didn't pay. Who you didn't pay? Why do I got these? Why does this person? You got different variances of your name. Are you running a scam? You got different addresses. Are you running a scam? You know, you got a bankruptcy on there. You know, you got let's say you got credit cards, and your balance is over the 30% mark. You're not following the 70-30 rule. And you got and it goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, inquiries, blah, blah, blah. You got inquiries, you got, and then like I said, you got bankruptcy, and chapter 7, chapter 11. You done racked up all of this stuff on that consumer report, and you're talking about 30 pages thick. Okay. So they're gonna have a presumption about you. And that presumption is saying irresponsibility. And it's just like a judge going to hit the gavel on you and be like, nah, we can't loan you no money. It's like a judge. When the judge hit the gavel on you, when they say, you pay up, yeah. Same thing. Same type of thing. Nah, we're not loaning you no bread. Sorry, can't extend you no more credit. because this right here shows us this is who you are financially. You broke, you busted, you're disgusted, and you can't be trusted with 2 nickels. We're not finna loan you no money. So, I'm not finna finance you a car. I'm not finna finance you some furniture because your consumer report is shot. As we said in the credit space, is jacked up. Do you really care about being in debt? Because being in debt takes away a lot of opportunities for you. Case in point. Let's just say if you wanted to go into business, right? You need it and you want to get some, business credit. Now you're trying to be on the up and up. You're trying to cross your T's and dot all your I's. You did everything that you were supposed to do. You did everything. You went and got the EIN number. You got your LLC. You got it all registered. You're insured. You got your insurance bonds and all this kind of stuff. You ready to set it all up. You know exactly what you're trying to do. You got everything set in motion, ready to go. You should be having your finances straight. And if you don't have your finances together, you got everything straight except for that credit report. You got that credit report. You got different variances, your name, addresses, and telephone numbers, and all that kind of junk, charge-offs, and all that stuff. Folks don't want to give you no money. Folks don't want to give you no money because your personal credit ain't nobody going to give you no money unless your personal credit is fixed. Let me say that. Let me just say that. Ain't nobody going to give you no business credit. And believe me, when I tell you, business credit, it gets up there. 30,000, 100,000, maybe $1 million in credit. That business credit is a lot. You get all these different types of incentives. You can get these 5 flyer miles, and you can walk into you can get it all set up to where you rent a car and you get your hotel. If you're going out out of town to do business, everything's set up. Your hotel fee, your room and board, right? Hotel fee, your hotel, and your plane ticket, and your rent a car. Man, that's good. Ain't that good? Ain't that good? Ain't that a good feeling to have? Well, you ain't gonna have that same feeling if your credit jacked up. You're trying to get business. You're trying to go into business. Yeah, okay. You got to fix your personal credit. Okay, now let's go back a little bit. Those of you that it's not going into business, that don't care about business credit. Do you care about being in debt? Do you truly care about constantly owing somebody? Look, I come from the gutters just like a lot of you. Trust me when I tell you. Not having money sucks. It do. Not having money, it sucks. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about something that Les Brown said. He said, man, I was so broke. He said, I went walked past the bank and the alarm went off. I went past the bank and the alarm went off. I didn't go in the bank. I went past it. I was so broke. But the thing about that is that really, do you really want to live like that? Do you really want to live like that? No. What can I do? I got my head in my hands and I'm sobbing, I'm crying, I'm going through this emotional roller coaster because I can't figure it out. That's the whole problem. That's the crux to it. You can't figure it out. But that's all you got to do. You just got to figure it out. You have to ask. You got to get with somebody that knows. How do I get out of this debt that I'm in? What are my options here? Where do I start? These are the questions that you ask. This is how we figure it out. But when you succumb to fear, debt collectors makes their money. Remember that. That right there, put that in your pipe and smoke it. When you succumb to fear, debt collectors makes their money. You know why? Here's a scenario for you. You didn't succumb to fear. So what you do? You got a $2,000 loan. What I'm tripping on, you got a $2,000 loan, and then you go out and get $4,000. You qualify. Somebody else qualified you for $4,000. Now you done paid the $2,000 off. Now you $2,000. Now you got $2,000 to play with. What are you going to do? Because hell, all you really doing is buying time. That's all you're doing. You ain't doing nothing else. You buying time. You're not buying the bill, your bills, your house note or your rent, your food, utilities. You're not buying that. You're not paying. That's what you're just paying it. You're not buying it. Think about it. You're paying it. You ain't buying it. You done bought time. And from the time that you get that, from the time that you pay it off, you gotta remember, to the time that money run out, what are you gonna do in between? What are you gonna do in between? You better be trying to hustle and try to get some more, try to hustle something legitimate. Because that's the only way out. That is the only way out. From the time that you pay off your bills, from the time that you run out of money, that's the time that you need to be hustling and trying to make some more money. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, because that's all you doing is buying time. Why are you doing this to yourself? This is because this is what fear does to you. This is what fear does to you. Fear make you say, I ain't got no other options. I gotta go run up this bag real quick. I gotta go see if I can qualify for this loan. Boom. Loan come. Oh, thank you, Jesus. But see, I understand. Look, I understand a lot of the a lot of these gurus out here talk about, how we live in the now and all that kind of stuff. And I get that. But if you don't plan for the future, if you're not planning for the future, damn it, all you're doing is buying time. And when you get there, you're going to be in the same situation. You're going to be in the same scenario. Look, go to Deuteronomy. Let me drop this one on you. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 1 through 3, and read that. Go read that. Go read that Deuteronomy chapter 2, 1 through 3. And see and see what that talks about. Because that's what you're doing. You're going around circles and circles and circles until somebody stops you, until somebody stops you in your track and say, hey, you've been going around this long enough. It's time to move you northward. Northward. Move you forward. Duh. You've been doing the same damn thing for the past 30 years. When are you going to stop? When are you going to move forward? But that's what I'm saying about this. If you don't figure it out, when you get to the point where from the time that you get till you get your bills paid off, up until the time that money run out, when you get to the point where that money run out, you're going to be in the same situation that you're in. This is what I'm talking about here. This is what this whole thing is about. Do you care about being in debt? Don't nobody want to be in debt. That's a heck of a feeling to be in debt. This is why I talk about debt collections. You got a bunch of gurus out here. I get that. They talk about credit, how to fix your credit, how to restore your credit. 4 blissful ways of how not to get into debt, or how to fix your, or how not to get into debt. How to, they talk about how to get business credit. How business credit works. What is personal guarantees and all that kind of stuff. All that is wonderful. I'm glad that they're out there disseminating that information because it's needed. But I'm on the other side of the fence. I want to talk about the debt collections because, man, that's real. Man, that's real. Man, it sucks somebody calling my phone all the time or calling my job asking me, when am I going to pay? It sucks when you constantly got letters coming to your house and you don't know how to address these people. That sucks. And then here you got a summons in the mail, or you got the sheriff coming to your job, or the sheriff coming to your house, putting a letter in your hand telling you got to come to court because you didn't answer a debt collector, a third-party debt junk buyer, because you fail to know how to answer these letters. You fail to realize you fail to learn. You just want smiles and giggles and say, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Sitting up there with twinkling your toes, chilling, watching Netflix. The mail's still coming. The debt collector's still chirping at you. And you don't know how to address these individuals. This is why you should care. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's easy. It's easy if you know how to do it. And we'll take you step by step with this. We will take you step by step. And it's not a hard thing to do. You stay in correspondence with them minimally, no phone calls, you good. Understand what your rights are. Understand what these laws are. What is the statute of limitation on collecting on a debt in your state is? Ask yourself that question. See, I'm throwing some sauce at you. This is why I'm asking. Do you really care about getting out of debt? Do you care? Let me tell you something. I can honestly say I don't have no debts. And I feel good. And I can tell you straight up and down. I'm disabled. But I don't have no debts. And yes, I have bread at the end of the month. Let me tell you something. This might sound mediocre, but I'm going to tell you something. It feels good to where if you're going out to work every day and you come home and sit down and turn on your television set and you ain't got to worry about owing nobody. It feels good when you can pay up all your bills, your rent, mortgage, utilities, food, everything, even your emergency funds, and still have and saving your emergency fund, and you have money to save, and you still got money in your bank account. So when the third week come after the third week, I ain't even say the fourth week, the third week, you got a free check. So if you got a free check the third week, you know you're gonna have one the fourth week. Because the first 2 weeks you done paid everything up. And it feels real good to have that extra 2 checks coming, depending on how you're getting paid, right? And you're able to say, I don't owe nobody. I don't owe nobody. I wouldn't care if you was getting a disability check and you won't and you're not working, but you don't owe nobody. Yo, that's real. Nobody, no, but see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking, do you really care about being in debt? I know everybody is different. We all got these issues. We got children. We got just these circumstances that I can't really go into because there's so many of them. But I know you got children and you're kind of doing this all by yourself. Some of us got grandkids. We're doing this by ourselves. You know, I'm telling you. And a lot of stuff comes up, but you got to figure it out. You can't satisfy others. Don't go into debt trying to satisfy someone else. Now, let me say this. When it comes to putting food on that table, clothes on their back, and a roof above their head, you got to do what you got to do. That's real too. Believe me when I tell you. That's real. But you need to be focused on figuring out how to do something different to equivalent what you got in front of you with getting that check. You got to figure out how to equivalent that with going to that finance company. Because these finance companies, they are targeting us black folks. I don't care where you are. If there's finance companies, whether you're in Chi-Town, whether you're in Mississippi, whether you're in New York, I don't care where you at. If there's finance companies, because they spring up like churches, funeral homes, and liquor stores. They spring up. They the fourth one that's springing up. Believe it or not. Finance companies, fly by nights. I'm telling you, and they targeting us. I had one client that was targeted. Now, they lived in Jackson, Mississippi, but they was targeted from Meridian, Mississippi, right? So I'm looking at their rules and regulations, what in their policies. What are your policies in terms of you targeting people? They said, well, we can't go outside our jurisdiction. And what jurisdiction is that? That's outside our city zip code. We can't go outside of our zip code. So that means they got to target everybody within inside that zip code. That's their rules. That's the part. That's their policy. So, well, my question to them was, well, why are you targeting this individual that don't live in that city? They gave you their identification and everything, and it showed up that where they live checked out. Why are you targeting them? See, somebody messed up. Somebody in that office messed up and gave them some money. Yeah, they took the money. Oh yeah, they took the money. But it wasn't supposed to have been given out. They told them, looked at it and said, "No, we can't loan you no money." So whose fault really that is? I mean, I'm just throwing. I mean, this is a real, true story. This is nothing. This is nothing made up. Nothing made up. It's a real, true story. Then why is why are you targeting them? So whose fault that is? You should have told them. Say, look, we can't loan no money out to some other resident that don't live in the zip code. And then they live in a whole other city, 93 miles away. So that's why I say, and see, it's a lot of stuff that they do that see, it's like a funeral home. When the person dies and they have insurance, this, that, whatever, and the people that are making the arrangements, they be destroyed. They be the ones to be destroyed. Because I'm gonna tell you something, it takes a level-headed person to deal with a funeral home. You can't go in there crying and carrying on. They want you to do that. Because you can't make decisions, just like being drunk. You can't make decisions. So this is the same thing with these debt collectors. Well, I'm saying these finance companies. They want to get the person that's in distress. That's the person that's in distress, the person that's in need of this money because they got a bill to pay. They got maybe a graduation or something that they got to do for their children or something that, that wants them to get money and they need to get this thing quick. They play on that. That's why I compare them to the funeral homes. They play on that. That's who they target. So, and you're not level-headed where you're not sitting there reading their policies. You just signing away, just like I put out a video sometime about the disabled. How they target the disabled. They target the disabled like they target the disabled because because a lot of times folks be in distress. This is what this is. Distress is a disability. In need is a disability, and they target that. They play on that. They play on your ability to be like, you can't make informed decision because you in need. Your need is more than your need is. How can I say this? Your needs is more important than you being informed. How about that? And they play on that. Oh, they ain't gonna look at the policies. But what I was saying, I think I lost train of thought. But like I was saying about the disability, how they'll have all these documentations in front of them, and they wind up signing away their Social Security disabilities, or their Social Security, or their benefits rather. That's crazy because they don't want to read the documentation because they're in distress. They need money. And here they done signed away. They done signed away their benefits. Don't know what they signing. See, I couldn't have a business like that because I'll be out of business. I'll be out because straight up and down, I'm straight up. I'm like, yo, you know what you signing? Do you know what you signing? And that's the question. Do you know what you signing? And a lot of them don't. Many of them do. Many of them don't. And that's the same. And that's how these finance companies. That's what they prey on. Whatever your situation is, I hope and pray that you come up out of it. Whatever your situation is, I hope you come up out of it. I hope you can find a solution that is that is that's within reason, that equivals to the same amount, uh, equals to the same amount of decisions that you would make when you try to obtain these loans. Let me say it this way. I would like for everybody that listens to this, that makes those types of decisions, I want you to be able to figure things out, period. Just figure it out where you don't have to go to a finance company to get a loan. Where you don't have to go to a finance company to get a loan. Stay in good standing with your bank. Let me give you some source before I go. I know I'm not going to hold y'all too long because I'm finna get off of here. You go to a bank and you have a bank account, savings account, and let's say you need some money. You need some money, right? Let's say you got in your savings account, you got about $2,000 in your bank account, in your savings account, but you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it. Then borrow. You need to borrow. If you need $1,000, borrow against it. Borrow against it. Your interest rates will be a heck of a lot lower than what these fly-by-night finance companies is going to charge you. Borrow against it, pay it back in increments. And I know you can handle that. I know you can handle that. And it works. I've done it. It works. And not only that, it's a win-win deal. It's a win-win deal. You're doing business with the bank. You're getting a low interest rate. See, the bank is winning because you're doing business with them. And then not only that, you're borrowing, you're getting your bread, and then you're paying them back. But then you're paying yourself because after the loan is all paid off, your $1,000 is back. You got your $1,000 back, but you were satisfied. But you won because you got your $1,000 where you were able to do what you needed to do right then and there. So I didn't want to leave without give you some real good source of information. By the way, if this video resonates with you, please give a brother a like and share this video out. Share this video out because I would like this video to be disseminated out there to people that really is in need. And subscribe. I can't forget that. Please subscribe to Blind Intelligence. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, stay encouraged.